It's time to hack the movies. Today, we're talking about tapes.
Hello, Crystal. How are you?
Hi, Tony from Hack the Movies. I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. Today is the first ever rental renew.
Renew?
Yes. Okay. So we did the first ever rental redos.
Yeah. With Johanna, you did the.
Yes, we did the Fifth Element because we had the Patreon vote on an episode I already covered, like a movie I already covered on rental reviews, but could have been done better, and people voted on Fifth Element. So this time we're doing rental renews, where we do a movie for an episode I was left out of.
Oh.
Yes, because Justin Silverman didn't want me in too many episodes back to back. He thought people would tune out.
How do you guys think?
I don't know.
Already?
How's Justin's podcast doing?
Oh.
Anyway, so we did rental renews, and I did a poll, and I made it Arnold themed, because I was actually left out of a bunch of episodes. For big movies, too. We made it Arnold themed, I believe.
I'm still on that stinger right now. That was good.
I believe we had Commando, Predator.
Yeah, Predator. I voted for Predator.
I'm shocked my audience didn't pick Predator.
Shocked they didn't pick Predator.
I think maybe because I've already... I do have a commentary track for Predator. And we reviewed a Predator movie. So...
But like,
I mean, I do want to review Predator at one point.
Yeah.
But I guess they really want to know what I have to say about Last Action Hero. Not The Last Action Hero, which I keep calling it.
Oh, I say it too. I say that the last.
Yeah, someone pointed out, it's like, it's not The Last Action Hero. It's Last Action Hero. I'm like, all right, relax. Just added the. Come on. Yes. Apparently, that was an episode people wanted to hear my opinions on. I think next time we'll do a Nicolas Cage themed one. I was left out of Con Air and fucking, what's the other one? Face Off. Left me out of Con Air and Face Off.
That's fucked up.
I know. I mean, I got to be in Bad Lieutenant.
Can we review Mandy?
Maybe.
Or does it have to be? I would love... Oh, there's so many.
I would just review Mandy because I like Mandy.
It's so good.
So good. Anyway, Last Action Hero, a movie we all love from our childhood that we watched on HBO and Cinemax like a million times in the 90s and 2000s. When did you first see it?
Today. I watched it today.
Really never saw this one before?
I've never seen this.
You're not an Arnold fan?
I'm not, actually.
Oh.
I'm the worst person to be doing this movie because I'm not a big action movie fan. But I will say I love this movie because it is the reason I'm not the biggest action movie fan.
Yes, the movie, this is definitely the self-aware 90s sort of thing. Yeah, the movie, I love this movie.
I truly love this. And I love I like his bad characters all the time. I like him better in his bad characters than like Terminator and stuff like that. Like Batman and Robin, I think he was phenomenal in, okay?
Oh my God. There's a lot of magic in this movie because every fucking thing in Batman and Robin, I'm like, how does that make sense? You're like, magic. And it's like, they're not magic. So I watched this movie a lot as a kid whenever it was on TV because I was watching Arnold movies like out of the wound. I was watching Arnold movies.
They're always on. And they all look the same. To me, personally, I know I'm going to get probably lots and lots of hate comments for this, but like, I just don't, they're all the same to me.
So, all right. Now I need to.
Just my personal opinion.
Now, do you have a personal gripe against Arnold?
I don't.
No?
No. Like I said, I think he was great in Batman and Robin.
All right. For a minute, I thought like maybe
I'm just saying action movies in general.
Is he your favorite Republican that hosted The Apprentice?
Really?
Just saying.
Really?
Out of the two, which one was your favorite?
Oh my God.
Interesting. You didn't answer that.
I'm not
anyway,
any political. I plead the fifth on any political comments.
I know Johanna. If she was here, what she would answer.
At this point, I don't know. I
was pissing people off when he was hosting The Apprentice.
Wait, you're pissing people off? No way.
Yeah, surprisingly, when he hosted The Apprentice, and then it got canceled. No one wanted to see Arnold host The Apprentice for some reason. But I just kept referring and I'm like, oh yeah, the Republican. They're like, stop calling him that. I'm like, well, is he not a Republican who hosted The Apprentice? I thought he was.
Yeah.
That's a good technicality to piss people off. They get so angry, but you're technically not lying.
It's very true.
So, as a kid who really loved Arnold movies, seeing a movie where a kid got sucked into an Arnold movie, I'm like, well, that's just living the dream. What is this? This is great. And it's directed by someone who made some of my favorite action movies, including my favorite Arnold movie, Predator. Predator, Conan the Barbarian.
I will go. Okay, yeah.
And then Running Man. Terminator's not in the top
really?
3. And then like Terminator.
I feel like those are just like your staples. Like your Terminators are just they're there, they're your staples.
I mean, but Conan and fucking Predator are so much better than all the Terminators combined.
I do like Predator and Conan.
Yes, and of course John McTiernan directed many things, including this, and he directed Die Hard.
Yes, and there's Die Hard.
He's a very
whatchamacallit's in here. They talk about Die Hard in it.
Yeah, he's a very, very good action director. Not good at getting away with wiretapping. He was not very good at that. He did serve some time for that. Unfortunately, if only he was just a little bit better at getting away with wiretapping, he could still be making movies now, but he hasn't made a movie in a really long time. Probably because producers don't want to work with him because they don't want to be wiretapped.
No.
If you're wondering why you haven't seen the John McTiernan film in a very long time. And all over the remake of Rollerball, which sucked.
That's what it was over about?
Yeah, he was wiretapped. Oh, he might have also wiretapped his ex-wife, but he was wiretapping the producers because they had disagreements over what the film should be. And it's like, wow. This legendary director's career is done because he did something illegal over the film Rollerball, which no one even remembers.
If there's any regrets in life, that is one.
I think Shane McMahon and Paul Heyman have a cameo in the Rollerball remake.
I love Paul Heyman! Yeah, that is
He turned on Brock Lesnar!
Good! Fuck Brock Lesnar!
At that pay-per-view I didn't watch, because I don't like wrestling.
Where I got proposed to? Yeah.
No. Hopefully by the time this is out, we found that guy. And
because he murdered me. Because I was murdered? Or they're just like, you're not the Crystal Quinn I was talking about.
Or it's like, Crystal got married. She just left town. And I'm like, what about the show? Anyway, Last Action Hero. This script was written by Zach Penn and Adam Lev. Zach Penn has written many, many films, including X2, X-Men United.
Yes, I did know that, actually.
Yes, and it was made, ironically, it was made to parody the types of movies that Shane Black would write and John McTiernan would direct. And coincidentally, Shane Black ended up doing rewrites on the film, and John McTiernan started directing. It was even script doctored by Carrie Fisher and like 5 other people. Huh?
I did not know that. There are so many names attached to this film. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so they don't even have it's weird they came up with the story, but they don't even have a screenplay credit because it was rewritten so much. Like, their movie stayed in the fictional world, and then like there was no magic ticket. So whatever it was changed a lot. And I do, as much as I like this movie, the script's not the best. It's a little unorganized at times, but I think it's because it had 6 goddamn writers.
There is so much happening in this film, and there's so many times I thought it was over, and I'm like, there's more.
There's an issue with like the magic and the rules that has always bothered me, which we'll go into. But again, if you have that many cooks in the kitchen, things are gonna get messed up. Arnold was paid $15 million for this movie.
What was his? Do you know what movie he made the most on?
Oh,
I'm so curious.
Like acting wise? Oh, I don't know.
15 million?
15 million. By the way, contrary to what this says, this movie was not a box office hit, so I think it lost like $27 million. Like, that's what they were.
It went more to his pay.
Yes. And a lot went wrong with the release of this, which I can go into a little bit later. It was like a whole chapter of some book on like famous bombs. But yeah, like I said, as a kid, I really, really, really loved it. I still enjoy it today, and let's talk about this film. And I I would love to see what someone new has to say about it.
New who actually is not into this genre of movies.
And remember, if you want to vote on these types of things, the polls are exclusively on Patreon because I love money. So yeah, sign up for Patreon and you can vote on the next rental redo or rental renew poll.
I like that. That's clever.
Yeah, so let's get into this film. It opens up with the end of Slater 3.
Yep.
Now, what did you think of the dummy being thrown off the roof?
It was fun.
I thought that effect was pretty poor. I have high standards for dummies being thrown.
Oh, you do?
That dummy, if I saw that, I wouldn't have put that in the final cut. It looks embarrassing. I am above that.
Really?
Oh my God! Topher, no!
Oh my God!
God damn it, Tom Hardy! No! No! So Jack Slater shows up to negotiate with the Ripper.
Yeah, so all the cop cars are surrounding this building.
A million cops.
And like there's just machine gun just go. I was like it kind of gave me Batman vibes, like corny Batman vibes as soon as I started watching this, because I honestly never seen this before. I had no idea what it was about. No idea that it was like a comedy kind of thing. And I'm like, oh, I'm getting like corny vibes going. And then as soon as I saw those goddamn boots walking on the top of cars, I was like, yes, I'm liking this.
So yeah, he's getting yelled at by the police chief and the mayor.
Worst Christmas ever.
Wait, who was the mayor?
Oh,
Tina Turner.
I was like, what the fuck?
There are a lot of cameos in this.
I could not keep up with all the cameos.
Drink every time there's a cameo.
You're dead. You're dead within the first like.
So Jack is trying to save the Ripper, or save his son from the Ripper, played by Tom Noonan.
Can I just say the best part before he even went up there? It's like, don't you want to be a farmer? And then he like kicks him in the balls or something. Well, here's a couple acres.
Hey, you want to be a farmer? Here's a couple of acres.
And he also just crumbles like the radio and stuff like that or whatever it is. I'm just like, this is going to be full of horrible puns. This is going to be awesome. Like as this is going on, I'm getting more and more excited.
I do, because again, all these guys, they've done shit like this in their other, like fucking Predator has the machete through the guy and him going, stick around. Like they do shit like this all the time. But yes, Tom Noonan is the Ripper. And I really like Tom Noonan. He was bad guy in RoboCop 2. And what other movie was he in? Oh, God damn it. I banged my... The same... I
hate to laugh, but...
No, I think it's the other leg this time.
Now the other leg doesn't hurt as bad, right?
So I
Did it make your...
Before we filmed, I hit the goddamn thing underneath the desk that the mic is hooked, and I just banged the top of my knee. Okay.
So you didn't bang the top of your knee though, right? It was more like your...
Let's reset. So, Tom Noonan was also the Tooth Fairy in Manhunter.
Oh shit!
Which is the first movie based off Red Dragon, the first Hannibal Lecter movie.
I know what Manhunter. Yes,
and he was the Tooth Fairy killer in that. And Tom Noonan's creepy. I recently saw him in it's an older movie now, but Joe Bob played it a few seasons ago. House of the Devil.
I've never seen it.
You never saw that one?
No.
Well, it was on Joe Bob's show. Where the girl is like supposed to be watching an elderly lady in a house, and there's like a whole cult thing.
I might have missed that episode.
That's a good one.
All right, I'm gonna go back and rewatch that.
Yeah. So Tom Noonan's great. He's good as the Ripper in this. He looks so fucking creepy. But yeah, he does the whole like drop your gun. He's like, I know you have more guns. Jack Slater just has a million guns.
Many of them.
And then he throws a live grenade that turns out to be a knife.
I liked it. The kid knew exactly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Okay,
and then we don't see the ending because it goes out of focus.
It goes out of focus.
And we meet our main character, Danny.
Danny.
And we have the action figure here for hook launching Danny. I don't remember him launching many hooks.
No.
Nor do I remember heat packing Jack. That's not what the Ripper looks like.
That's not what the Ripper
They
looks
got the car right. I love that they have the Hamlet Arnold and they have Dynamite Jack Slater, which looks like your regular Jack Slater.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Danny is watching a movie when he should be in school.
Yes.
And he talks to the projectionist, Nick, about it. And Nick's like, hey, I'm going to premiere Slater 4 tonight.
Yeah, he just got the print and he had to test it.
Yes,
so
but he's like watching Slater 3 in the...
And he's seen it like 1,000 times.
That's not on video yet?
Sometimes you just want to watch an old movie in a theater. Really? You don't want to go... There's not a single movie you want to go back and watch.
I guess there were theaters that would just play like...
older ones. And like, especially if it's just him. Also, if it's before school, this movie theater is open at 7 a.m.
Oh, yeah, that's right. School's, yeah. So he's like, hey, you better get to school. You're like way late.
Yeah, he misses first class.
But he is going to come back that night and watch Slater 4.
Yeah,
they killed his favorite second cousin. Big mistake. So he goes to class and fucking Mrs. Wilson from Dennis the Menace is there.
Dennis the Menace.
I looked at her, I'm like, where do I know her from? And I remember,
Yep.
Yeah, and they watch Laurence Olivier's Hamlet. I love Hamlet. And I always wonder why I like Hamlet so much. And I think because when I was a kid, I really liked Lion King, which is basically Hamlet.
It is.
So I think by the time I went to watch or read Hamlet, I'm like, I like this. I'm like, oh, it's because of that. And then I like other things that are similar to Hamlet.
Like?
I said I was reading Dune recently. There's a lot of Hamlet in Dune.
Is there really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna really like Dune then.
Hamlet's been remade a million times.
Yes.
I have a version of Hamlet here.
Well,
I have the one with oh man, where is it? There it is. Oh, I have a terrible one. The one with Mel Gibson and Glenn Close. This one's pretty bad. Yeah, I just really like the story of Hamlet. So they play Hamlet. The Simpsons retelling of Hamlet's pretty good too. Yeah, and you know, Danny, he's a shitty 90s kid, late 80s, early 90s kid, and what's boring Hamlet? This sucks. And he's like, where's all the action? It's like, just shoot him. And then he has the dream.
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark, and Hamlet is taking out the trash.
Fantastic.
Something's right in the state of Denmark. I love this whole action trailer of Hamlet. Like Arnold as Hamlet just murdering everyone.
Holy shit. To be or not to be? Not to be.
You killed my father.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
He said, like, you kill my father, and I wanted him to say, prepare to die so badly from Princess Bride. Like, you killed my father, prepare. Like, you cannot say you killed my father and not finish it with prepare to die.
Yeah. So I love that whole sequence. And now that I know that there's an action figure of it, can someone please get me Skull Attack Jack from the last action hero? I want Skull Attack Jack.
Skull Attack is fantastic.
I'll take it out of the box as long as it comes with the skull. I should remake Hamlet.
How would you remake Hamlet? And what version of Hamlet?
No, the original version.
Like straight the shake, just okay.
No, I'd probably change it up a bit.
How would you change it up?
I'd be like, yo, I'm gonna kill my uncle tomorrow.
So not Shakespearean or anything, and
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Hamlet, you kill your uncle yet? No, I'll get to it later. Stop hassling me about it. Get thee to a nunnery. Stuff like that. He says that too.
I know Hamlet.
Ophelia. Anyway, the mom is very mad that Danny has skipped school.
Yes.
I imagine this happens a lot.
Especially for a movie. She seems to hate movies.
There's movie posters all over her house, though. Maybe those belong to the dad.
They don't mention really the dad.
No, they do. Briefly, she's like, hey, I didn't choose this. I didn't choose to be a widow before I was 40.
But they still don't mention the dad. Like, you just know he's dead.
Maybe it existed in a previous version of the script. I think maybe him and the dad like watched movies and stuff together, and that's why he loves movies so much.
Oh,
Or I could be wrong. I don't fucking know. Support for Hack the Movies is brought to you by our friends at Manscaped, the leaders in male grooming. Their 4th generation performance package absolutely changed the grooming game, along with their refined body wash to round out your hygiene routine. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped for their shower time routine by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code HACKTheMovies. Hi, Kieran.
Hello, Tony.
Kieran, you might notice that I'm a little injured.
Yeah, I did.
I went on a trip recently.
Okay.
I went to the Amazon.
Whoa.
And I forgot my leather bag that houses all my Manscaped stuff. So I didn't know how to shave my balls. So I jumped into a water full of hungry piranha, hoping they would eat the hair off my balls. Instead, they just bit me. And, one of them got my nose. That's why I'm wearing this very masculine Band-Aid of Pikachu. All because I forgot my Manscaped, and I will never do that again. Do you like Manscaped?
Oh, I love Manscaped, actually.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Have you smelled Manscaped's refined body wash?
Yes, I have.
Fellas, the ladies love their signature scent. You and your boys will be oh so fresh and so clean when you start off your self-care routine with the ultimate body wash. Keep the grooming game going with the Performance Package 4.0. You have the Performance Package 4.0?
I don't have the entire Performance Package, but I do have the Lawnmower 4.0 that I got for Christmas this year. And the person who bought it for me used your code, HACKTheMovies.
That is amazing.
I got that 20% off. Yeah, I was really happy with it.
Nice, nice. Well, inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, which you vouch for.
Yep, and it's awesome.
The Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer.
See, I wish I had that.
Yeah.
I got really long and disgusting ear and nose hairs.
Yes, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant and the Crop Reviver toner. Are your balls, do they need to be more
have
toned?
That too, yeah, I use it. It's pretty...
Your balls are very toned then.
Yeah, at the end of the day when I'm coming home from work, sometimes I just like my testicles to be as pert as possible.
Exactly. And the Performance boxer briefs and what I should have brought to the Amazon, the travel bag to hold all your goodies. You're going to want that travel bag.
Well, I guess technically I meant my scrotum because it's not like I apply them directly to the actual testicle. The testicles are the actual inside part.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Yeah,
I don't
if I was
recommend
slitting
that.
out my balls and then spraying them with that would probably hurt.
Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor, a new multifunction on and off switch that can engage a travel lock and gives you the ability to turn on the 400,000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. When I was in the Amazon, bleeding from all the piranhas biting me, I got lost in the dark. But if I had that Manscaped light, I would have been able to...
You would have found your way.
I would have made it through the wilderness. I would have made it through.
You would have been lost still, but you would be able to see.
I would be able to see.
It wouldn't be so dark.
Oh, did I mention this trimmer is waterproof too? This trimmer is a shower essential.
Yeah.
Seal the deal with Manscaped's liquid formulations, their Crop Preserver ball deodorant for before leaving the house, and the Crop Reviver ball toner, which we already talked about, for a mid-game ball check. Trust me when I say this, fellas, your balls will thank you.
You're welcome, balls.
Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. Bring your comfort and boxers to another level. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code HACKTheMovies at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code
HACKTheMovies
at manscaped.com. Keep your balls trimmed, fresh, and clean with Manscaped. Yeah, so she tells him, like, lock the top lock, because he's a latchkey kid. And she's like, just don't open it for anyone. Don't go to that stupid fucking movie. You're grounded for the night. So he goes to leave, and of course he gets mugged.
Yeah. Like, he opens it, he sees someone walk by, and he quickly closes it. Then he walks to see if the coast is clear, and then all of a sudden, guy comes in.
And handcuffs him
Yes, handcuffs him in the bathroom.
In the bathroom, throws the key into the toilet, 'cause throws the key into the toilet because he's mad that the kid didn't have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he was like, what, a shitty $20 TV? That's all you have? No valuables? Like,
Yeah.
It's like,
That
damn.
key gets set up for later.
It does.
Yeah, so the cops like bring Danny to the station.
I thought he wanted to go report it.
He probably called the cops.
I think he walked to go report it.
Oh.
That's what I thought when I watched it. I go, oh, he went to the station to go report it.
Oh, I thought maybe he like yelled and someone called the cops, and I don't know.
I think by then he probably fished out the key out of the toilet. It wasn't far, so it's not like he couldn't get it.
No. They tell him like, hey, your mom said go home right now. Lock the door this time. But they're not going to accompany him. Like, I feel like you should accompany him back to the...
Yeah, no, he's never accompanied at all throughout this entire film.
Well,
like,
in the movie world, it doesn't matter.
Well, not just that, but he goes to school by himself. He comes home by himself. Sure, he has to lock the door.
Yeah.
But he still walks around 42nd Street. What year was this made? 80?
I don't know. This is
or 93?
93. It was definitely shot in
93.
92. You could tell by the movies they're referencing.
Yeah, but like it's shitty 42nd Street. 42nd Street.
Yeah.
42th Street. Wow. I told you, my brain is done. You guys are going to get such stupidity out of me today. Like, this is what
Are we going to have to do a talking redo for this?
You might. Holy shit. So,
yeah,
yes,
he's unaccompanied a lot.
But it's like the shit version of 42nd Street. After like the porn era kind of feels like in between porn.
Yeah, the porn stuff has kind of gone out, but it's still
gone out, but it's really bad to where you see later where there's just gunfires everywhere and no one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
So you would think walking down that street or anywhere near there, children would not be there, but he still walks around.
He does. And instead of going home,
he goes to the theater. This is the first time I saw the sign, coming soon, Lowe's Multiplex.
Right.
That made me so fucking sad.
Yeah, because there's that whole thing of the big theaters being like shut down.
And there's graffiti all over this theater. It's absolutely horrific.
That theater sucks. It probably should be.
If they've renovated, there's been so many theaters, movie theaters,
but it's also in a bad part of town.
It's in a bad part of town. But, if you see some of the buildings now, though, too, where they've been able to renovate it. I remember this one theater, the Pittman Broadway, in Pittman, New Jersey, and they renovate. It's like this old live theater that they're also used to do movies. Stunning. And that's kind of what it reminded me of, too, where if it was to be graffitied in a bad area, but it has such beauty and this old feeling. And that just, when I saw tearing down for a Lowe's Multiplex, it just automatically, I was like, oh.
Are you going to cry about it?
No.
Okay.
I was just sad for a moment. We can move on.
So Nick is
Sorry, I have fucking emotions.
Nick is definitely sad because he's wearing his Usher
he's
outfit.
Sad too.
Yeah, he's wearing his Usher outfit.
That was so cute.
That doesn't fit anymore.
It's not too tight, is it?
But yeah, he's like, hey, years ago, Harry Houdini played here.
Because you see in his projection booth that there's all these Houdini posters and stuff.
Because that was like his hero, and he's like,
because he wanted to be a magician. He also did things like in his vaudeville days or something. He wanted to be a magician, and then ended up
just like
as a projectionist.
He's like, yeah, Houdini gave me this ticket that was given to him by a magician. He told me it's a door to other worlds, and then he's like, I never used it.
He was too scared to use it.
So they use it that night. It's a golden magic ticket, apparently.
And you see them when they rip it. I mean, it's a horrible effect. But
we're going to talk about like the optical effects and stuff in here. They're
so
real
bad. But
yeah, they're just real noticeable. But yeah,
it's like in your face. But when they ripped it though, and I saw that, and I was like, I'm just like, ooh.
They start to play the movie. Awesome. Credits.
And all those names actually have significance too.
Yeah, like Franco Colombo is like a bodybuilder that Arnold knew.
Yeah, he knew him. He worked with him or something. Yup.
So then we see Art Carney, and apparently his last acting role.
Really?
And we all know Art Carney from his classic appearance in the Star Wars Holiday Special. Anyway, he's there and he's being interrogated by Tony Vivaldi and his assassin, Benedict. Played by Charles Dance.
Yes! Game of Thrones, baby!
And you know him from a little movie called
Alien.
Ghostbusters 2016. You know him from Ghostbusters 2016. I caught you off guard there, didn't I?
I don't like this abuse, guys. This is really abusive.
Ghostbusters 2016. Remember, he was in that. He was the asshole college guy.
No, I really don't remember anything.
Oh,
that really
if you don't remember
in
that, you should go back and watch.
No, I don't remember that.
The all-female Hack the Movies episode for the all-female Ghostbusters.
None of us except Mint watched it all the way through. I don't even know. Did Mint watch it all the way through? I don't remember.
Mint watched it 1.5 times.
That's right. Oh, you got a good memory. Mint's the only one that watched it 1.5 times. None of us watched it all the way through, and I don't want to relive that.
You know who did watch it all the way through?
You?
Me and Trisha, because we did a commentary track for
it. You poor guy. Oh my God.
So yeah, Charles Dance. Yes, the year before this, he did Alien 3. He's in a lot of good movies and a lot of bad movies. I mean, Ghostbusters 2016. Which category does that fall into? So,
great movies, great.
Mr. Benedict, he has a creepy glass eye that he keeps changing, and that's pretty cool. That's cool. Definitely a James Bond thing. How they all have a different kind of scar.
Yeah. You could pick out so many things from different movies in this. Yeah. It's kind of overload though.
Yeah.
I got overwhelmed a lot throughout this film.
I do like the running gag that Vivaldi, the Italian guy, keeps getting common sayings messed up. It kind of reminds me of my dad occasionally. He'll like screw up a saying. Oh, God. Or like switch the words around on the saying and not realize it. But I like Benedict is like, oh, you just Sicilian schmuck.
Yeah.
As easy as cake. Pie, you Sicilian schmuck.
I think that's what, Tony, you're a Sicilian schmuck.
I'm not Sicilian.
Don't care. I'm going to call you a Sicilian schmuck now.
I'm Calabrian.
You're Calabrian schmuck.
Calabrian cuck would sound funnier. But I'm not, so.
You're Calabrian cuck. I'll find something.
Joe's Sicilian. He's a Sicilian schmuck. I'm kidding. I love Joe. Anyway, also check out Trisha's Italy. Apparently Sicilians get mad when you call them Italians. They want to like pretend they're in their own club. Like, nah, you're in Italy.
You're still going to be a Sicilian.
Malta got away from Italy, but you guys didn't.
You're still a Sicilian smuck.
Yes, so...
Smucky Tony.
Yes, so we find out that there's a drug bust happening at Jack Slater's favorite second cousin's house.
I love that.
It's my favorite.
Absolutely fantastic.
You got the wrong intel. That's my favorite second cousin. So yeah, the cops are about to break in, but they find Art. Well, I like that Arnold, you think he's going to kick the door down, and then he's like, let me just open it.
Yeah.
And Art Carney's tied up. He's like, hey, the Vivaldi and the whatevers are going to link up.
But they're not, or whatever. Like
whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, they're joining. I like when Art Carney.
They're joining forces, and
I like when Art Carney died. He goes, I'm out. And if this is
I'm out of here.
If this actually is his last film role, that's pretty funny that his last line in the movie was, I'm out.
Oh my God, I didn't realize that.
So
that is insane.
Yeah. So I like Jack Slater picks up the cards.
How it's just so crazy. Like it doesn't matter how fast he's pulling them.
It reminds me of that stupid scene in Scream 3 with the gas in the house. And like the gas doesn't blow up until he finishes reading. I'm like, how do you time that? What the fuck?
I like it though. See
how Art Carney and his house blow up? And as Danny says, minor flesh wound. The other cops are dead.
Yep.
Like the old guy.
And the tree, 2 days away from retirement. You're like, oh.
What movie started that cliche?
I don't remember. I was like, oh, I've seen that like 1,000 times.
Can someone find us the one that started that cliche? This whole scene reminds me of The Simpsons when they watch a scene from the McBain movie. Starring Rainier Wolfcastle. Remember that character that always made fun of Arnold?
Yes.
And then like the one guy's like, yeah, I got 2 days till retirement. I'm gonna get on my boat. It's called the Live Forever. And then he gets killed.
Yes. Oh, I love The Simpsons.
Mendoza!
The Simpsons is fantastic. Goddamn.
So
brilliant.
Yeah, out of nowhere, bad guys show up in a tiny truck.
They're insane.
Fuck, what's the one guy's name? The one stuntman.
And that's the thing is they're stuntmen.
Oh God, I'm blanking on his name.
Hold on,
Asian guy.
I know.
He's a diehard.
I know.
So
I know exactly. As soon as you said what's the one stunt guy's name, I was like, I know exactly who you're talking to already. This IMDb. Fucking words today. IMDb is really, really hard to go through because there is so many.
I will say I can't. You don't have to look this one up, but I think the driver of the truck is El Scorpio from Predator 2. He looked very familiar. While you're looking that up, I'll keep going. So yeah, they chase Jack Slater all throughout LA. They start throwing dynamite, and then dynamite enters the theater.
Pew! Mind blown.
Yeah, because the ticket glows because he heard Nick. He heard that the ticket might have a mind of its own. So yeah, the dynamite comes out, but doesn't blow up the theater because because
I guess no, because the popcorn put it out. That's why.
Did it?
Yeah, he put out didn't it? Because he threw the popcorn on it, and I think it went out. It turned off the.
No, I remember him running.
I remember him running too. Maybe he thought it was going to explode. I don't know.
It could just be a continuity error or magic.
But also, I have questions. Magic.
Okay.
So is it not anything you touch, or is it with the ticket? I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. But now going back, looking through the film, looking backwards, how did that portal just open and allow anything to come through?
I guess.
Not have to touch or.
Yeah, the ticket just wanted it to open. I don't know why. Ask Houdini or the guy from Tibet who made the ticket. I don't know. Point is.
But my whole thing is like nothing else when they had the ticket. Later in the film, you see them have to physically go through and things like that. Yeah. Things just didn't fly through.
They don't explain the rules very clearly.
No.
But Danny ends up in the back of Jack Slater's car. And he's in the movie. I'm in the movie. I hate how he says that.
Holy cow, I'm in the movie.
He stop saying it the entire time.
Fuck you, pre-hysteria kid. Kid from My Girl 2. You thought you could replace Macaulay Culkin.
Can't replace Macaulay Culkin.
Can't see without his glasses. You can't replace Thomas Jane. He can't see without his glasses. Anyway. And you're in Lawnmower Man.
Wow.
1 and 2. Yeah, so the chase is actually pretty funny.
So I do like it though. Like there's just, oh no, there is the bomb does go off. I wrote down explosion.
Yeah. There's multiple explosions in this. There's
this movie is nonstop explosions. No, it does blow up. I guess and the theater doesn't physically blow up because they're able to go back in. I get what you're saying now. Weird. Yeah. So he goes in there, but there's also there's just straight silence too. He gets back in the car.
I like that scene.
It's just quiet. And then all of a sudden, when Arnold looks back, then all the music, the sound starts. I was like, "Oh, that was cool."
So they're blowing up cars all over the neighborhood. They're
just flying everywhere.
I like that they blow up the ice cream truck and that stuntman, famous stuntman whose name I'm forgetting, just gets the cone in the back of the head.
Oh God!
So I love when they're in the LA River. And they jump out. I like that cool shot of the car hovering above.
That was cool.
But I really like when they're driving and they're talking. You just see the bad guys in the background.
I love that too. And the
effect's a little dodgy, but it's just so funny that they're talking. It's like,
the effects were very dodgy, but I kind of just let that go because it was so corny. And I was like, it kind of to me felt like, I know it wasn't on purpose. Yeah. But I was able to forgive it.
So I will say about the effects in this, so it's definitely anytime they're doing a blue screen kind of matte shot. I've talked about this a lot before they started doing it digitally. They were you could kind of tell when things were blurry or there'd be hard lines. And for this one, every time they're about to do some kind of optical effect, the camera gets super blurry.
Yeah.
Because they linger on the characters too long before the effect shows up. And this is another scene where the screen, you'll see it just gets kind of out of focus and blurry and real dirty.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah, and that happened in movies a lot, but usually they would be, filming an actor, then do the effect. But this one, it's we're going to film the actors for a while until the effect shows up. It's well, do some cuts or something. Just to skip ahead a little bit, the scene where Arnold falls from the elevator, compare that to the end of Die Hard with Hans Gruber. The one looks so much, well, it was at night, so they covered it up a little bit better, but it takes me out of it.
Well, for this movie, I forgave all of that just because of the type of movie it is.
Maybe. I don't think that's what they wanted, though.
No, I don't think it was on purpose, but I was it didn't take me out of the film. If it was a serious film, then absolutely that would take me out. But there's so much going on. I almost like that wasn't my care.
Yeah.
I was just trying to focus and figure out what the fuck's happening.
So my dad was a cop, and I remember what Philly police stations look like, but apparently LA police stations are really nice.
Got a fucking valet. They got a goddamn valet.
Everyone's wearing leather and shit.
Oh, wait. We have to go back. There was the car that went through like the one area.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just nothing but girls walking around. And,
right.
I guess they're doing a photo shoot or something.
Oh, right, when they played chicken. I forgot.
Yeah,
they played chicken at one point.
Chicken.
Yeah.
And the one guy's just he's just running around on fire, and the girls are just like, yeah! Just like, what the fuck is happening? That sets it up, I feel like, for the valet perfectly.
This is the second movie we reviewed recently where a woman is dressed up like a car. The other one is The Last Dragon. So... when they get to the police station after they play chicken, I forgot to write that. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
This is where I get a little confused of the rules. So,
okay, go ahead.
Is Danny in the Jack Slater movie, or is he in movie world? Because we see Sharon Stone from Basic Instinct. We see the T-1000. I do like this bit of the cop assigning buddy cops.
And I think it was more playing on the tone of the video or the film of saying like, we're going to go ahead and put all the cliches in. And the cliche was just how you always get a lot of films. Have,
that's fine. But it's like, okay, are those characters from like you're with the rabbi or this, but then like a fucking cartoon cat
whiskers
and Humphrey Bogart black and white are there.
Holy shit.
But like again, so and even Danny's confused. Like these characters shouldn't be here. So
and he's trying to be like, this isn't right. This isn't right.
So is Danny?
Is there a cartoon? He's like, yeah, that's my best man. Like that's my best cop.
Yeah, he was only suspended for a week. So is Danny in the movie or movie world? The movie never decides on that.
I think they're in a movie world.
So do all movies take place in the same movie world?
It's not like Toontown and like in
That's the thing.
That's why
I feel
it kind of feels like Toon World in Roger Rabbit.
I feel like they decided too late that they wanted to do this idea.
But then you see, why can't other characters then pop into there? Because later,
it's confusing, right?
Later, they're able to say, "Oh, you want King Kong? You want?" I love that whole little speech. But
I can't wait to rant about that speech. But yeah.
But now you're saying, okay, later in the film, now because you have the ticket, you can grab any character you want. I don't know, it's just because they're in the real world at that point.
If it was movie world, I'd be fine, but that's not how the movie
I don't know if we're just in the movie world, but we're following the Jack Slater
I think
story.
Once they like came up with like the gags and the cameos, they just threw it in, not really caring about whatever the rules were, because they never really tell you the rules. So that's my only issue. Like when I'm like older now, I'm just like, I wish I knew like what is the distinction here. Anyway, but I do like the idea of buddy cop assignments.
And fucking Danny DeVito, right?
Yeah,
oh my god.
Funny. F. Murray Abraham shows up from 13 Ghosts. And Danny warns him. It's like he killed Mozart.
Oh my god.
From Amadeus.
Yes, I loved that they actually mentioned Amadeus. That was hilarious. I was like, oh shit. Like but that's the thing is he just kept. So if it is movie world, then they would know these other movies, or how can they play these actors play?
That's what I'm saying.
More multiple roles then.
It's a little flawed.
Yeah. You can't have this Whiskers cat can't be in his own movie.
No.
It would have to be part of the Jack Slater movie.
I agree.
It would have to be, because if you're saying the guy was in Amadeus and he killed Mozart, he has no idea who that is. Like that's part of the Jack Slater.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. No, that's not movie world. That can't be movie world. I mean, it's obviously a movie world, but it's not the movie world. It's not Toontown.
It's confusing. It is confusing. Anyway, I love the police chief who just screams and screams and screams and breaks his window. They're talking, and then Danny starts airing their personal stuff from things that happened in previous Jack Slater movies. And I like when they were like interrogating him. They're like, no one's ever even heard of you. Who are you? How do you know this?
Yeah. And he's given like all real answers. And all of a sudden, as soon as he gives the stupidest answer, they're like, oh, okay. And they just move on.
And I love that they're just like, all right, you just found your new partner. My God. It's just the buddy cop thing. So now he's with him.
There it is. There's the team up.
Oh, we also skipped over the when Jack Slater goes to his desk, his wife calls.
And he puts it on.
He puts a tape going,
which comes back later. Yeah.
He's like, my ex-wife, she's always calling me.
Are you going to be doing those impressions throughout this entire
No.
Okay, thank God.
So yeah, Danny is trying to convince him that he's in a movie.
Uh-huh.
So he takes him to a video store.
It isn't possible.
What's not possible? He's fantastic.
And then he shows him the Terminator 2 cutout. Is that showing up on your...
Can they see it? I'll bring it over.
Well, careful. It's going to fall apart. Don't bring it over. It's going to fall apart.
You sure? I can do it safely.
Don't even bother. We'll get a close.
Why didn't we put it over here?
We'll get a close-up of it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We'll get a close-up of it.
That's amazing. So I was sitting there watching it. I was actually watching the movie for the first time with Justin. And he's like, you're about to see something really familiar. And I was like, okay. And then that showed up. And I was like, everything in my life makes sense now.
You didn't know that?
I had no...
No one ever... What did you think was wrong?
What the fuck do you guys ever explain anything to me? No, I just thought it was something stupid.
It's my fault. I assumed that you're a very smart woman.
Thank you for assuming that.
Yes, and I thought maybe you would know.
You guys have fake shit all over the place.
What's one fake thing in here?
I'm sure I can find tons of...
Hold on. I need to log something into the computer. I gotta make a phone call on my phone.
I'm waiting for you to do all the real things. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
The answer's that quick.
So have you found any fake stuff yet? I have to shave.
Nope. I'm still looking around for some fake shit.
Well, let me know if you find it. Anyway. So yeah, they have the whole Stallone cutout, which is pretty funny.
That's
one of his best movies.
You guys someone made that for you guys.
Yeah. I loved him flirting. You were in a movie? Yes, it was called The Girl of My Dreams. It starred you.
Oh my God.
He's a pretty smooth talker with the ladies, and we find out why. But yeah, and then
and he mentions that like the phone numbers.
Yeah, it's all 555, 555
well, we have a lot of area codes. And then every female is attractive here. Well, I actually wrote it down.
There are no unattractive women here.
There's no unattractive women. It's California. And I died laughing at that line. There are some good lines.
Yeah.
I will say that. Not all of them.
I wish I could be surrounded by attractive women just once in my life.
I'm sorry. Where's Mint? You were around Mint. And
true.
Johanna and Trish.
What? No.
Johanna? That's my wife.
One day.
And Kira.
One day I'll be.
Holy shit. All right. I'm surrounded by
Kira and Trish are nice to me, so they get a pass.
Trish, Mint, and Johanna's my wife. So these are my phenomenal, beautiful women. So go fuck yourself.
I should have more of them in episodes and less of the two of you. Yeah, so I'm very jealous.
And everyone's like, yes, please get them out. Get Crystal out.
The bad guys are in there.
The bad guys ain't there.
I love like the kid's like, I know where he lives. And he's like, there, the bad guys are there. He's like, oh, all these years.
Oh my God.
I could have just went, the bad guys are in there.
Yes.
And when they're knocking on the door,
I love this part.
He goes to leave and he does the, I'll be back.
I'll be back.
He's like, didn't think I'd say that. And they're like, no, it's kind of.
That's what you.
It's your thing. We kind of wait for you to say it. He's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I love when Mr. Benedict comes to the door. And I love his super trained Rottweilers.
Well, they first say, one guy comes to the door. It's like, looking for drug dealers. Do drug dealers live here?
It's a great day to be killing drug dealers.
The other guy goes, I heard you're looking for drug dealers. What? Like super like wrong.
Was that guy Random Task from Austin Powers? He looked like Random Task from Austin Powers.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway.
I wanted to look up everyone on the IMDb. I said it right this time.
But it's
way too overwhelming.
I love the Rottweilers making a pyramid.
I literally wrote down puppy pyramid. They're very don't get what was it? Don't let them fool you. They're highly trained.
Yeah.
And snaps his finger. Pyramid of puppies. I was literally like.
And I had Rottweilers growing up, so
did they do pyramids?
No.
You did not train them properly. You're really bad Rottweiler.
Well, I only had one at a time, so I couldn't really train both of them.
One died.
I mean, they're both dead now. We mentioned it before. The one his brain brain stopped working.
Yeah.
And the other one just got old.
Yeah. So I think we gotta have. Can we get hack the movie puppies and do pyramids with them? We should totally get a hack the movies like pet.
No. So we he leaves.
They leave.
But Benedict hears Danny mentioning all the stuff that happened in the first scene. He's like, how the fuck did he know that? What the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, you see the eye? He puts down his glasses.
Have a nice day. And it's the happy face.
But he straight up says he has like a weird eye. He has a glass eye.
Yeah.
How else would Danny have known that?
Yeah. Which they call him out on, I think, a little bit later. So we go to Jack's ex-wife's house, but she's out of town. But his daughter's there, played by Bridget Wilson.
Yes.
Bridget Wilson Samfris now, unless she broke up with the guy.
I have no idea.
Sonya Blade from the good Mortal Kombat movie.
Yes.
And she was also the sister in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yes.
She died. Not in real life, and I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I was going to say, wait, when the fuck did she die?
And this is apparently her first movie. I love that he keeps calling her the actress name.
Yeah.
Because it's Whitney, but what's her actor name?
I don't remember.
Melanie or something like that.
Something.
And she kisses him.
I only referred to as daughter.
Yeah. She kisses him because she's supposed to kiss some...
Skeezy? Or,
yeah, she's supposed to kiss some boy at the house as part of something. But yeah, Jack, he sees a picture of his son. And he gets sad.
Yeah.
And he leaves to think about his dead son. You find out that when the Ripper got shot and fell off the building, he took Jack's son with him. I guess they wanted to end Slater 3 on a down note for some reason.
We didn't get to actually finish watching Slater 3.
That's true. We don't actually get to see it. Yeah.
I like how a lot of things in this movie are set up for later things constantly. Because he then mentions the counterfeit money.
Yeah, he's like...
the counterfeit money, you could tell it's fake when you burn it.
I love, he's like, I've been using it to pay my alimony.
I loved that. Loved
it burns funny colors.
Yep.
Yeah, and Whitney and Danny have like a little scene about like the dead son.
Yeah. Oh, and also the dad obviously he left the house at this point.
Yes. But Benedict shows up.
Dum dum dum.
Yes. And I love when he's questioning. He's like, if you harm a hair on her head, he's like, wait. And he like rips the hair out of her head and then breaks it in half. He's like, you were saying?
That was funny.
He's such a good bad guy. I get why they always cast him as bad guys. He's really, really good.
He's good. He was the main bad. I mean, he is the main bad guy kind of in this thing, but he plays it so well. He takes that role, and he's so strong in this.
Yeah,
he really is.
And I like he gets annoyed with Danny, and he takes his ticket.
He does take the ticket.
Yes, he gets annoyed with Danny, and he takes his ticket.
He's going through his wallet, everything. He knows about him, doesn't understand. He's from New York, doesn't know why he's there. And while this is happening, Bridget, or her real name, Whitney, is getting beat up in her bedroom, but it turns out she turns the tables on the guy. But I love that. I love that she's screaming to trick people into think she's getting beat up. Yep. And let me just say, if Jack Slater was real and I saw this one, I'd be like, this is the worst one. It's gone woke with his daughter. I'm kidding. What? No. It was ahead of its time. It was ahead of its time, focusing on the daughter. What was it? She says later, like, instead of going to prom, she was like reloading it. Yeah. K-47. But yeah, I love when she's kicking ass and just screaming. I thought that was funny. Jack saves the day. He uses Skeezy as a distraction. So it's so funny that Skeezy shows. So it was the whole thing of the girl's supposed to kiss like a freshman boy on the mat, on the mat, which is so weird. Like that's such a random thing to be thrown into a movie. Yeah. Like, that's not a real thing. And he's just standing there. Poor kid is just. But yeah, he bursts through the top of the building like Batman, and he just shoots everyone. I love when he electrocutes the guy and it starts shooting everybody. Oh god, it's so funny. He gets shot in the chest, but he's got a bulletproof vest on, obviously. Arnold jumping off the balcony, the blue screen. Gotta catch the red eye. Yeah. The puns. The blue screen on him jumping off the balcony is so bad. Like, it just feels like it's part of it, though.
But not as bad as when Danny is playing chicken with his bicycle against Benedict's limo, and then he turns into a 2D cartoon.
Yeah.
Like, he flies across the moon like E.T., and it's literally like a 2D animate.
It was so bad.
There were a couple movies around this time that tried to pass off 2D animation as, like, people. And we talked about it in Roger Rabbit. They do it. There's a scene where, what's his face? Bob Hoskins is animated, but it's supposed to be the real Bob Hoskins. Anyway, so that looked terrible. And then, Arnold and him are walking on a blue screen shot again.
It's very odd.
You couldn't find a street for him to walk on? I thought that was bizarre. Benedict, back at his place.
Oh, did I totally miss that?
He discovers the ticket is magic in between these scenes.
Oh, yeah. You hear Twilight Zone.
Yeah. He, like, touches the wall, and then he hears and he like pieces it together what's going on. But yeah, back at the house, what's his face writes a curse word.
You know what? I don't think it's a curse word. I think we know what he wrote on the note paper, like on the notebook.
What does it say?
It said, Jess, I think you should show what it actually says on the notebook. It says subscribe to Hack the Movies. And he just couldn't tell everyone. Justin came up with that.
Anyway.
Yeah, Jess.
So it's probably a curse. And he's like, say it. He's like, I don't want to say it. It's like, no, you can't, because this movie is PG-13. But I love when Skeezy's like, yeah, his eye was missing. And it's like, you mean his glass eye? He's like, no, missing. And they find the eye, and vengeance is mine. Just the big explosion. And then they're in the office and they're still smoking.
Yeah. That's how, like, they just don't die.
Yeah.
I love it. I like how everyone else dies except your main people.
Yeah. I love the Chief's ears are just smoking.
And then it turns to, but that's very, like, cartoony.
Mm-hmm.
So is it cartoon? Is it not cartoon?
Who knows? But Slater gets fired.
Oh, this is when you see the black and white.
Yeah, he's in the scene.
Yep.
But Slater gets fired, and he goes to his apartment, and his apartment is shit, and it has ninjas in it.
I love that. I thought that was funny. He
He's
just
like,
comes
there's always
in
a guy.
And shoots the mirror. You know how many mirrors I have to go through? You know
He's
how
like,
expensive this
there's
is?
always a guy in there. And I love that he just has the same outfit.
Same outfit. He looks like Kieran.
Yeah. But yeah, his bed is just on the floor. It's so, like, bland. And he's just like, I can't believe I survive all these things. Like, it seems weird. And he's like, my ex-wife, she moved on. I pay a cashier to call me so people think I have. It's like really sad, but it's like,
it is so.
Did the writers of the movie?
I have a normal teenager? Blah blah blah. I can't die. It just like gets super depressing.
But that's the thing. Like, are the writers of the movie giving him this backstory, or is this what happens to him in between movie? Like,
yeah.
Like, how sentient are these characters?
But it doesn't, it seems like there is no in between the movie stuff.
Yeah.
Because this is still part of the movie.
Yeah. Well, Danny's derailed the movie now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, it does take a weird turn. And you would think almost, because for a second, before when Danny first got into the movie, and they back up the car right before they play chicken. Oh, this is a movie set. I thought it was going to turn into like, for a second, like everyone like they cut or they freeze until the next scene kind of thing, as if it's like.
There is a scene where we see the camera crew. I'll talk about that.
Okay.
But yeah.
I wasn't sure where it plays. Almost like, once again, going like back to like Toontown or something like that. Like they're playing, and then cut, and they go back to like real life kind of stuff.
Yeah. But it's not that. It's not that. However, they figure out that Leo the Fart, his funeral, they're going to nerve gas everyone at the funeral.
This is as they're driving, and you still got cars just
the whole
crashing
thing,
in the background.
The whole thing's like Arnold's such a bad focus. He's such a bad driver having a conversation. Because I guess in movies, they're always like talking and not really paying attention.
Everyone's just crashing behind it. But yes, they're discussing the funeral.
Leo the Fart, he's going to fart one last time and kill all of the mob bosses. And I like Tony Vivaldi's there. And he's like, go pay your respects to, like, set the bomb. The beeping on the collar. It's like, I did not see that.
Is this like a normal Italian funeral?
You know, I don't know too many Italians that are buried on top of a building.
Or that have that many people. It's just like nonstop people going into the funeral, by the way. Yeah, I was like, oh, ridiculous. I guess Tony. I would ask Tony this later. Like everyone just normally is part of the mob showing up to a funeral. Yeah. Okay.
It turns out F. Murray Abraham is a traitor. He did kill Mozart after all.
He did kill Mozart.
But I like he does the whole like bad guy speech, and then Danny's like, "You're an idiot. You did the bad guy," blah. And then Tony's like, "You're not too bright yourself." So that handcuffed to the pole. Because he used the thing to get out.
Yep, the key that he already had in the beginning. So it's a callback for that.
Yeah. So F. Murray is going to kill them, but then they're saved by Whiskers the cat.
Right before that though, you see Benedict about to get into the car, and he says something about behind the 8-ball, and he puts his glasses down. He had a fucking 8-ball glass eye. He didn't wear that. They fucking missed that. You see a whole bunch of his glass eyes. One was a fucking 8-ball.
He might have had more.
But don't you think if you're referencing an 8-ball, that he should have had the 8-ball?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Yeah. I was expecting to see an 8-ball behind it. Oh, it's behind the 8-ball. And for him to move it, his glasses, because he says that to himself. There should have been a fucking 8-ball glass eye. He has it.
Yeah, they really screwed up there.
There's another time where they screw it, where I'm just like,
Way to screw up, John McTiernan.
You to fucking go.
Dick.
So yes, Cartoon Cat shows up. Good job, Whiskers. There's so many, yeah?
Thought I heard something. I think my phone might be tapped. I think John McTiernan's listening to our review.
Because he has nothing better else to do.
It's like, what's going on here?
Hey, look, it's a random video store next to Caldor.
He's like, hey, tap their phone. I need to know what they're saying about my movie.
Yeah, so many fart jokes. Oh, and they also activated the bomb by the pull the finger.
Because he's Leo the Fart. He's Leo the Fart. I love the whole funeral scene of Arnold running in and going, "This man's not dead." He's like, "Help me." And I love the whole, "Is there a doctor?" The guy's like, "I'm a doctor." He knocks him out. He's like, "The doctor has fainted."
Look, elephant.
Because everyone has fucking gun. Even
it turns out
the nuns.
Yeah. So even the old ladies and the nuns, they're all in the mob. They all pull out the guns. I like he throws Leo the Fart off, and he gets caught on the big hook, the crane, which Danny's manipulating.
Operating. Yeah. And then he goes. He ends up going on the elevator and making his way into the elevator.
And I love the helicopter swinging around and shooting him. I like that.
Yes.
It shoots. You see the glass explode, but then you see people just getting hit with the glass. You rarely see that in movies.
Yeah. So the elevator. He goes like. What was it? Like, he actually says, "Oh shit," I think, at this moment.
Yes, but it's muted. And this is the scene I was talking about where he's falling, and it's just so obvious that it's like.
No, well, I'm talking about like when it's the doors open, the helicopter shoots in, and then it shoots all the people, and he's just right below it.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. That's when he says, "Oh shit," I think.
Oh, okay. But I know he like mimes it when he's falling.
Yeah, he definitely mimes. I think he says it once.
And then he falls into a tar pit. And he just wipes that tar off.
That's when he's hanging.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's after he ends up grasping onto him.
Yes.
And then he's like trying to swing, he's trying to get off, and he's trying to pull him down into the tar pit.
Yeah.
Goes right in.
They fall in. Leo the Fart explodes, but it's
silent,
contained.
But deadly.
And I love that he's just wiping the tar off, and Danny's like,
Danny's like, what the fuck?
Tar sticks to
some people.
And then
fucking the daughter shows
Whitney
up.
shows up in her like monster truck. She's like, "I brought a pair of clothes." And he's like, "Don't you find this convenient?"
This is a little weird. And that's when I thought the movie was basically done. I was like, "Oh, that was cute, very cute." Well, then there's a little bit more. A little bit later, I was like, "Okay, great. The movie's not done yet." They go back to the villain house.
Yes, and he's like telling Vivaldi, he's like, "Oh, it was great. Everyone was jumping and dying." And then he's like, "Nope, it went terribly."
Yep.
And then he says some anti-Italian stuff to him, and
"You stupid spaghetti slurping cretin,"
didn't agree with it.
I applauded.
But he kills Vivaldi, and this is what I want to talk about. Randomly, the bad guy just starts talking to the camera and monologuing.
But you know why?
Why?
Because they literally break the fourth wall.
Yes.
They literally break the wall.
Yes, but I'm saying in this scene, when I was a kid, I'm like, who's he talking to?
But now, to be a setup for a joke.
No. I know who he's talking to. if you look at the reflection in the bar, you could see the cameramen walking around.
I had no idea.
Plain as day, you see the camera crew talking to him. And
That's
it's such
funny.
a weird scene for him to be like, if he could go through parallel worlds, so could I. And
if God was a villain,
it'd be me.
It'd be me.
If God was a villain, he'd be me.
I do
love that line. That line's good.
He's good. And of
I
course,
want that line.
Arnold
if
drives.
I was a villain,
Yeah, Arnold drives through the fucking mansion.
literally breaking the wall.
But Benedict and a random task, I guess, they jump into the wall and they leave.
You don't really see the task again after that. I guess because
No, you do. You do.
Oh, you do
You
see
do.
him in
You
the
do.
car. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll get to that.
So he escapes into the real world.
This movie's so long. And that's when I really thought it was over. Like right
It goes
before
on a little too. Yeah, I get what you're saying. There's
I like this movie, but
like this should have happened a little bit earlier. I think.
I think a lot could have been cut out to get to this point if this wanted to be part of this movie, or it could have been a separate.
But yeah, they Jack and Danny follow him. Jack has trouble adjusting to the real world. He tries to like punch like a car window in. He's like, ow.
He's like, yeah, it hurts when you hit things.
They go to play chicken. And he's hurt, but the airbag saved him.
And he knew that though.
But this is where the guy died, but Benedict gets away.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, he
but
sees.
I'm surprised Benedict actually survived.
Yeah, he sees the billboard and he's like, I need to sit down because he sees himself.
And it says Arnold Schwarzenegger as Jack Slater. And he goes, what the fuck?
Yeah, so Danny lets Nick know that the ticket actually worked, and Jack starts to have like a existential crisis.
He is.
And then Nick
freaking out.
Yeah, Nick warns him about all the awful stuff in the real world, and he says politicians twice.
Yes.
To Arnold, a future politician. Republican who hosted The Apprentice.
Yes. I mean, those are all facts.
It's so funny.
Those are all facts.
It's
Yes.
just a fact.
Those are facts.
I'm not saying I like him or not. I'm just saying he was
facts.
a Republican.
Yes, those
and
are facts.
you should only refer to him as that to see how upset people get. So yeah, but like I think at that point he was like
it's
already
like
hinting.
So sad though. And Arnold's just like, or whatever. Jack Slater is honestly like I was imaginary and they did this to my life.
Yeah.
They did this on purpose.
He's like, why did they kill my son? Like, that's really fucked up. They did that.
They did this on purpose. It took such a sad turn. You're just like, oh shit, life's shitty. Holy shit.
But you know who's loving it? Benedict. Because
Benedict is having the time of his fucking life.
Yeah, he sees someone get killed just for their shoes and no one cares.
And he's like, what the fuck?
I also love the hooker comes up to him. He's like, how old are you?
And she's like, never mind.
And he's like, his shoes. So, and I love that he just finds a guy.
Hey, I have to test my theory.
And he's like, sure, bang, he shoots him. And you see people in the background just like they just kind of like slowly walk away. He's like, I want to confess.
I shot a person. I did it on purpose.
I want to confess. And everyone's
Shut up down there.
So he's loving that. So I like that Jack and the mom get along.
That's adorable.
I do like that because what's his face? Danny goes to sleep and he wakes up and they're like kind of talking.
I hope they fucked.
No.
I know they don't.
No, because he says, I never just talked to a woman before. It's neat. Because in the movies, he's always flirting because that's what the action hero would do. So he's like, I just talked. It felt weird.
And I was like, oh, this is fake.
And I love this callback. And it's like, what's this music? It's classical. It's Mozart. He's like, the guy that killed Brad. The guy practice killed?
Oh, their apartment number is 3D. I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So yeah, they suggest
go to a diner. Oh, go ahead.
This is like this part's upsetting to me.
Okay. What is it?
Well, one, I do like the scene of Jack on the Empire State Building looking around. But after that, they suggest that Benedict can bring people out of movies, and he's scribbling on the Gary Oldman Dracula. And there's also a poster there for Sleepwalkers, the Werecat movie. And like, I remember being a kid seeing this first time, and I'd seen Dracula at this point. I'm just like, I really want to see Dracula in this. Please show Dracula in this. I want to see Dracula.
I kind of wish I saw more movies. I wish they kind of
imagine if the fucking Gary Oldman Dracula showed up in this. Because there's posters for it. Because again, they shot in 1992, so there's posters for it everywhere, and it's like, oh, that would have been so good. But yeah, it really sets up this thing, and he talks about it later on. All these different bad guys he could bring, and then he
But how does he know about these characters as well?
He's probably I mean, they probably exist.
I'm sorry. They said it earlier, but I don't know how possible.
But instead,
wait. So Danny says, "Oh, Benedict has just been watching movies all day. That's why he's going to go see the viewings of these movies and seeing these characters." But he's mentioning a lot of films, all in what, one day? This doesn't take place over like that many days.
I mean, he's probably not watching them all the way through, to be honest. But yeah, so he brings the Ripper out of Jack Slater 3.
How are you bringing them out, though?
He uses for some reason the ticket works for him. Like he could just.
Wait, if the ticket had a mind of its own, don't you think it would be for good?
I don't know, probably for evil.
Because it picks and chooses when it wants to do things.
I didn't make the rules. Point is, if this movie were made today, it'd be like a Ready Player One thing where you see like all the bad guys at the end, and that would have been.
I would like to have seen that.
Would have been really cool to see. But yeah, Danny and Jack argue, and Danny's just like making fun of. Well, not making fun of Jack, but Jack feels bad because he knows Danny's like, you're just a regular guy here.
Oh, he feels so. It's raining.
Because the real world sucks.
Upset.
But
they catch walking away. They see Benedict across the street.
And by the way, if they were to remake this, Benedict wouldn't be coming out of Night of the Living Dead, be coming out of Hack the Living Dead, and then I could be in the movie. Why even introduce that? Like,
no one's bringing you in.
Imagine if he like walked out of the theater with like a bunch of black and white zombies. That would have been awesome.
That would have been cool. See, I think you could have made this. Like I said, I really enjoyed this film. It was fun. There's so many cool things you could have also played off of. Yeah. But like I said, it also went a little too long.
It does. It starts to drag a little bit.
I guess maybe you can't take other characters because it's about action movies and they're making fun of action movies, so you can't really bring too much horror into it.
Yes.
Then why are you like talk about other action movie villains then instead of saying Dracula and Freddy and the later thing?
Hannibal Lecter will do the catering. They mentioned bringing Adolf Hitler in.
They did, having a surprise party for Adolf Hitler. And I was like, that's a random thing. Out of all these, you're naming fictional characters.
I mean, there are movies with Hitler in them.
Sure.
Maybe he was going to get
the too real.
Maybe he was going to get the Donald Duck Hitler. Huh. That's the Hitler he was going to hang out with.
A little different. Okay.
Anyway,
so yeah, he starts walking on all the cabs in his boots.
Yes.
Like it's a callback from earlier. So many callbacks.
Yes, and he confronts the one cabbie because the dude gets away. And he says, rubber baby buggy bumpers.
Rubber baby buggy bumpers. Ha! You didn't know I'm going to say that, did you?
You weren't thinking I was going to say that, huh?
Because now he can just say whatever he wants.
Yeah. That was funny.
So,
and then they see that there's a premiere happening
for Slater 4, and Arnold's going to be there. And the idea is
so overwhelming at this point.
The idea is if they kill Arnold, they won't make Slater movies anymore, and the bad guys can reign supreme. And Arnold's there with
his now
ex-wife Maria Shriver and just a million celebrities. But I love the interview he gives. This cracks me up. He's like, we only kill 48 people as opposed to the last one where we killed 119.
He's also talking about, what was it? Planet Hollywood or something.
She's like, don't talk about the gyms. Don't plug the restaurants or the gyms. And then he's like, anyway, Planet Hollywood.
Yeah, because he also in like gold.
That one's a little dated. I mean, there are still Planet Hollywoods, but not like they were.
Not like now. But like that kind of shows like he only cares about money and his fame, which is, I think he just needs to really show a contrast of the two Arnolds.
But yeah, I love that.
Totally different.
The Ripper shows up in uniform.
Which is, I think that was kind of genius.
Yeah, and I love that his agent's like, what are you doing?
But you're like, I have a friend that rents tuxedos. You just wait right here. He's like putting it together.
I love the real Tom Noonan shows up. And you're like, we're with Tom Noonan?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like putting the acts together. And guys like, did Jack Nicholson show up to Batman as the Joker? I don't think so. Jack Nicholson Joker would have been good in this.
Yeah.
Would have been cool to see him.
There was so many people that fucking. Who else showed up randomly? There was so many people at that premiere.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yep.
Oh, I have it here.
You have the list? Okay, go ahead.
I have no. I have fuck Jim Belushi.
Oh. Is that all?
Everyone says I look like John Belushi.
Yeah, I know.
And he's the more talented one. And
yeah, no shit.
he died. And
you're still alive.
no, Jim Belushi sucks.
You feel better you said that?
He was okay in Twin Peaks season 3, but he mostly sucks. Yes. According to Jim, sucked. So yeah, they stop the Ripper from killing Arnold, and Jack meets himself. And I like that. He's just like, this effect actually isn't too bad. But he's like, oh man, you're great. You should call me and we can do all this stuff. And Arnold's just like, I don't like you. You've caused me nothing but pain.
Oh my goodness.
That's probably what a character would say.
Yeah, and that's the only thing he says to him. That's like raw almost.
Yeah.
Like he only cares, like I was saying earlier, he only cares about his money and his fame and blah, blah, blah. And this guy's like, my emotions, like who I am as a person.
Yeah, he's like, now that I'm actually able to think for myself, like this sucks. Your life, you're constantly writing me to do all these horrible things.
Yeah.
So
look at like there's so many people that just played themselves in this.
I know the Waynes, Marlon Wayans, I think.
Chevy Chase got pushed out of the way.
Chevy Chase gets pushed out of the way, yeah.
Chevy Chase was there. Yeah. Oh my God.
From
MC
Christmas
Hammer,
Vacation.
because he asks about the soundtrack or something like that.
Oh,
the
yes.
soundtrack of this movie alone is pretty death. It has Megadeth in it.
It's pretty good.
I fucking love
Pretty
Megadeth.
good.
I was like, okay.
He goes to meet the Ripper on the rooftop, just like in the beginning. Now, for being in the real world, the movie starts becoming like a movie again. They do the whole, he throws Danny off, but then he takes an axe and he electrocutes the water, even though the Ripper's wearing all rubber.
Yeah.
And it's like, would that work? I mean, like,
But he's also on the side of the building. Would he not get electrocuted at all? I know he's lifted his feet up, but there's still water everywhere. If he put his axe, I don't know if he threw the axe in or if he still was holding it.
It's a thing for like a movie that's saying like, hey, this is the real world where there's like consequence. Like this seems a little far-fetched.
Yeah, I didn't like that kill.
Yeah.
It didn't seem right.
It felt weird. The Ripper said, I'll be back.
This pissed me off. They lost a moment there when he said, I'll be back. He should have said after he killed him, like, that's my line. Why?
What does he say to him?
He says, like, hell you will.
The hell you will.
Oh, okay.
That's the line you picked? Like, hell, I'll be back. And you say, like, hell you will? No, that's your fucking line.
Yeah.
How do you not recall? Because he says that earlier in the movie. That's another callback. You don't do it. 2 lost moments, 8 ball, and I'll be back.
Yeah. And then speaking of like unrealistic, when he saves Danny, he like swings him.
Yeah, that felt
like,
out of place because that wasn't real world.
Yeah, that's again the movie.
That was not real world.
Like when it's good, and then like it starts to break its rules
and
a little bit.
It now makes a little bit more sense, but there's so many writers involved that a lot of that makes sense now.
Yes. So Jack, Benedict shows up.
Oh yeah, Benedict
does his awesome bad guy speech about how he can have all these bad guys and we never get to see it.
He says Dracula, or I can have King Kong, Freddy Krueger, and he says about Adolf Hitler, Hannibal, and we can have a christening at Rosemary's
for Rosemary's baby. Yeah,
I mean it was funny, and I appreciate. But it's interesting that this is an action movie. Now we're talking about all horror.
Well, because he wants like bad guys. So
I feel like you could have picked bad guys and keep the genre. I don't think.
Well, no, because Jack Slater's good at killing action bad guys.
Okay, I can go with that. I can go with that.
Arnold blows his head up.
He does.
Yes.
Yes.
But
because he
also
blows the because it was I wasn't sure about how I felt about this, where he's shooting the gun.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, there's no more bullets. And they're like, well, you missed, first roll, you got to reload your gun, which they don't realize. He goes, no, I left one chamber open.
Yeah, something like that. And then he shoots him in the chest.
And he shoots him in the chest. Obviously does more than a flesh wound at this point because it's real world. But I'm like, really? You did that on purpose? And I didn't count that many shots. I didn't count the shots. I didn't know that was coming up. If I've seen this before, I would have been like, I'm pretty sure he shot more.
I didn't. It's the opposite.
It felt weird.
Yeah. Again, like
And
multiple
then
writers.
Yeah,
he shoots him in the head, blows up, and then the ticket
goes all the way to the ground.
Goes
right
to
from the movie theater.
Ingmar Bergman's The Seventh Seal,
which is so strange that because it landed outside the movie theater, it can now open up.
Again, it's so
any
inconsistent.
Screen. And why didn't the rest of the characters in that movie? Why is it just Death?
I don't know. Do you know who played Death?
Ian, right?
Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
Ian
I was
McKellen.
I was totally just questioning myself right there. Ian McKellen. Yes.
McKellen.
Who's
See,
McKellen? I don't know.
Sarah Michelle McKellar. So yeah, so Jack, Danny is like, we got to get Jack back to the movie so he can survive, but they don't have the ticket. We never find out what happened to that ticket. I guess someone picked it up at some point.
No, but I can we just still say like how Death is walking around down the street? Like they just released Death. He puts his hand on the, what was that? Like
it was a cop who was lighting up a cigarette and he touches him.
Coughs to death.
And he's like,
why? So their powers work in the real world?
I guess so, because death exists in the real world.
So if I bring any character that has power, their power would still work? Because Jack Slater kind of has like action-y powers, but doesn't. I know he does like rip the door off of a fucking car. Like he still has that.
I guess if.
But yet there's consequences. But death.
But I guess if you bring like a normal person from the movie into the real world, they'll become a real person. But if you bring the physical manifestation of death, they will still be death in the real world because death exists. I don't fucking know. Let's just get through this. Okay. He's searching for Jack Slater. And
I love this scene.
And I do like every time Danny goes to pull a gun to get people to do what he wants, they all just run away. He's like, they always run away. So yeah,
sorry, not this scene, the next scene, but yes.
So yeah,
the ambulance. Yeah, they fucking freak out.
He gets the ambulance to the theater
because he realizes you got to put him back in the other world. Got to put him because then it's just a flesh wound.
The Grim Reaper shows up and he's like, "Oh, he's not." He's like, "Leave Jack alone."
Leave him alone.
He's like, he's not on any of my lists.
Yeah, he was like, "I'm just here to watch." He does it so fucking well. Like,
yeah, he's like, "I was just curious."
I was just curious because it's not, but you are Danny.
And he's like, "You die a grandfather." It's like, oh shit.
It was so. And he's like, "Well, you can help us." He's like, "Well."
He goes, "I don't do fiction."
He's like, "You're very." Yeah, he doesn't. He goes, "I don't do fiction." He goes, "Danny, you're a very brave boy, but you're not very bright."
And he goes, "I would look for the other half of that ticket." So yeah, they find the other ticket. He like kicks it. He like jump kicks it.
Whoa. What was that for? That was not needed. Okay, that probably put a lot of effort in. You just went through so much shit. Mm-hmm. How are the cops also not there?
It's ridiculous. You think they'd be like, was there just an explosion?
You're playing on this real world shit, and yet you're talking about real world consequences, but there's not that many real world consequences that are happening.
Yeah.
Maybe like the physical of getting hurt and dying. But the consequences, like if an ambulance goes through a building, I'm pretty sure cops are going to be there kind of quickly. I know, I get they were saying like 42nd Street.
Yeah.
There's the gunshots. No one's really caring. But I think at this point, especially if you have a fucking premiere happening
there's a premiere not too far where an explosion just happened. Like, yeah, it's ridiculous. So
anyway,
they get Jack back in there. They do their little goodbyes.
Oh my, this looked weird. I didn't like the way this looked.
What do you mean?
You didn't notice there was like the blurry, I guess.
Because of the effect in the background.
That was probably the worst look.
For some reason,
that took me out.
Yeah, for some reason, every like composite effect, because they linger on it for so long when other movies weren't. Like they weren't there yet. Like if they had waited a couple years, maybe. But it was, it took me out of it because they wanted that effect.
Nothing else took me out except this one scene because it didn't feel like he was actually there.
No.
And I get like, he's like, but he's in the movie world. He's not in the real world facing the movie world.
What it might be is because I've talked about it before. A lot of times when they did like composite effects, you would either have like someone like fading, like if you looked at the edges of them, they'd be like a little transparent, or the opposite, they put that thick black line around them. And I think they were experimenting with a way to get around both those issues, but this movie did not fix.
It didn't. No, it looked really, really
and
bad.
You're right. It's just super blurry. And it reminds me of Friday the 13th.
Jack looked great, but he did not.
It's like Friday the 13th 3D. When you watch that movie, like all the 3D stuff, it just looks so dirty because of the way they like did the effects and stuff. Like it just, yeah.
Well, that's a lot of 3D movies too, like early 3D movies.
Yeah, so you're right. It just... You're supposed to care, and it's just like, what's going on?
This is such a big moment.
Yeah.
You would think you have edited that one. I understand. But also, if you're in the real world, or if you're in the movie world, I didn't think you could see the real world behind you. Why can I see the real world? He's not is he halfway through the screen?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense, but I like it. So yeah.
The doctor comes.
The doctor comes like, this isn't even a flesh wound. And Jack is now Neo from the Matrix. He knows he's in a fictional world.
Oh, there's a Matrix car in this movie.
Matrix car?
Yeah, there's a black car that's apparently from the Matrix.
That makes sense. Probably. Well, the car in the Matrix would have been from this movie.
Oh, maybe it's the same car.
It probably is the same car. I'm just saying.
I just remember someone told me that. Okay.
No one on the set was like, get the Matrix car, because the Matrix didn't come out yet.
Yeah, that's right.
Someone is sending me their HD DVD collection, and I'm going to have the HD DVD Matrix box set.
Are you super excited?
I am, because a different fan sent me that HD DVD player months ago, and I could finally watch HD DVDs.
Oh, look at that.
I'm so excited. Anyway.
You guys are making them happy.
So yeah, Jack's just going to do whatever he wants in the movie world because he knows he's a fictional character, much like Neo knows that
he doesn't give up. And he's literally telling his boss, like,
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
He's like, I'm the hero.
I'm the hero. I don't want to shoot people anymore.
Yeah. And then he drives away and waves at us.
As Danny and Nick are walking out.
Yeah.
Because Nick's like, I don't want the ticket. You know, it works for you.
Mm. And then the movie lost a lot of money at the box office.
Yeah, I was like...
There was apparently... they did like test screenings and it got chewed out, and then the studio wanted to like throw away the tests, like the things, and word of mouth got around that it was awful, and then they decided to release a week after Jurassic Park. They decided to put their action movie up against Jurassic Park, and the week it came out, it apparently was second to Sleepless in Seattle, I think. So yeah, it got horribly received.
Sorry, but the effects in Jurassic Park were better.
Well, duh. But yeah,
like,
it was horribly...
It's so crazy to see these films come out at the same time.
Well, not everyone had ILM, and there's different teams and
stuff. But what? This is Columbia Pictures? Like, you would think they'd have a lot more money to do it right. Especially this large of a movie, this large of a cast with such big names, you would think they would do it.
But it's gotten better reception in recent years. It's a little bit of a cold hit. Like I said, I really like it. I acknowledge that there's problems with the script. The rules don't make sense. But again, when you have
that many
different people, different writers with different ideas of what the film should be, you're going to get stuff like that. But I don't think it's a total disaster.
No, and I just love the fact that Arnold was able to make fun of himself. Like, he can't even see his own
That was kind of fun.
Too. I like that.
Yeah, that was fun.
Like, he can't say, what's he say? He says Arnold...
my name's Arnold Braunschweiger.
I thought that was hilarious.
So yeah, I really, as a fan of Arnold movies, especially when I was a kid growing up with it, it was really, really cool. I don't know if a kid would like this today because Arnold's not really in too many.
I don't think this is much of a modern can be played for a modern audience as much. I think it's more of like nostalgic at this point.
Yeah, it's definitely of its time.
It's definitely
of its time.
Yeah,
I would like to see this idea done again, though. I would like a remake of this.
Would you like to see it though? I'm curious if it would do better as PG than PG-13.
No. I would like to see this again. I would like to see this again.
Okay.
Do it with like Keanu Reeves, and make it more about like those John Wicky type action films. But actually go all in with it at the end, where the bad guy starts bringing in bad guys from other fucking movies. Like, I want to see a John Wick character fighting like Thanos and shit.
Oh,
that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be fun.
That'd be pretty awesome.
I'm down for that. I would like to see what they said, like bringing all these like horror. Like, let's do one with like all the like. I know Universal monsters have been done so many times and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I would love to
I
see.
did it pretty well. And Mummy Cop. So as a person who does not like Republicans that host The Apprentice, you were able to appreciate this film on a certain level, right?
I don't appreciate you.
I'm talking about the movie. The movie. I'm in the movie. Oh my God.
Italian. Look.
No, that's how Danny says it. I'm in a movie.
No, you now just sound like a Sicilian schmuck.
Oh, wow. It's schmuck, you bitch.
Schmuck. Schmuck.
Anyway.
It was like Jewish, like schmuck.
Yeah, schmuck.
Like I said, not the biggest fan of action movies because it does, like I said, it plays a lot of those points of like lots of bad puns, but not bad enough to where it's like a bad movie, like jokey kind of bad. I don't mind them. I'll watch them.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest, like there are people that love Arnold movies.
Me?
Yeah.
I haven't watched any new ones, but.
But yeah, I just never. I mean, I think if I sat there and thought about it, I'd be like, oh yeah, I've watched these and these. It's just not my favorite genre. I would say I like action way more than fucking rom-coms. I hate rom-coms.
Oh, I love rom-coms.
I cannot do rom-coms. I hate it.
Rom-coms are my favorite,
Rom-coms are my least favorite movie.
I'm making a rom-com.
You're making a rom-com?
Yeah.
Would you like to, is there more to say on that or is that it?
I didn't think this joke ahead.
I can tell, like it stopped, like flat. Rom-coms, there probably is a couple more before action. But I did though like this movie and I like the magic feel to it. I like the corniness of it. It definitely made me laugh a lot.
Yes.
And I did get, the thing was, even though I haven't seen as many action films as probably a normal person has probably, or maybe I've seen the average amount, I was still able to get all the references.
Yeah.
All the references were very clear references. Yeah, I got who was who.
It's supposed to make fun of cliches and yeah.
Yes. No matter what, you don't have to be the biggest Arnold fan to appreciate this.
Yeah.
It's just
action movies from that era in general.
But I think if you were to give this movie to someone, an 18-year-old now or something like that, they probably really wouldn't get it as much.
Nah, they wouldn't. Yeah, unless their dad is like a boomer who shows them all these movies.
Or like they just like older movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, that could be it too. That could be it too.
But this is definitely more of a time capsule piece.
Yes.
Time capsule. Would that be the right way to say it? Time capsule piece? Or no, it's time. No, time capsule is forever. Like.
You're struggling.
I'm struggling.
You're worse than the Italian in this who doesn't know how to say things.
I'm struggling so hard right now.
Stop appropriating the Italian in this film. Saying wrong.
No, time capsule is forever. Opposite a time capsule piece.
Yes.
I'll go with the opposite of time capsule
I agree with you because you're very smart.
Go fuck yourself.
And I respect your intelligence. Wow. Wow. You need to lighten up. How do you expect to marry that guy at the Royal Rumble if you're this negative?
I still want a shirt that says.
So anyway, make sure to let us know what you think of the first rental renew. We'll do another poll at some point.
So can I also say I did this today was the first time I ever watched a rental review episode.
Oh, how was that? I wasn't in that one.
I know.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Am I in like any of the ads or anything? Or am I just 100% out of that?
I didn't see. I don't think I. No, I think Kieran might have been in that ad.
I know Kieran and Justin are in the episode.
They're in the episode. They're not in the ad, I don't think. But yeah, that was the first time. I didn't know what rental reviews, like their feel was, their vibe. It is definitely different than Hack the Movies. But that was my first time ever watching. I was like, oh, it's just.
What one's better?
Whoa. I mean, I like the show on more.
Yeah, okay. That's
obviously.
But
it is cool, and I understand what people say now because when they're saying like it's a different vibe, definitely. Like it's different. We literally hack the movies.
Yeah.
We talk about the movie. We're not being film critics here. We're just talking about. I am not being a film critic here.
Yes,
but we're just talking about our opinions on the movies and what we think and what our experience was watching it. And we're just like bullshitting and having fun, where rental reviews was a lot more chill. They didn't go through scene by scene. It was just like natural conversation.
I would say if I recommend an episode, definitely Big Trouble in Little China with Macaulay Culkin. That's a really, really good one.
Yeah.
Okay. I really liked I think the Mortal Kombat episode, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, is probably like our top one. I think that's like our best one.
I started watching. There's one that like Mike Matei was in. I just watched like the first like 30 seconds of it.
He was in a few. I think we did Star Trek 5 with him.
No, it was like you came in and you were saying something. You meant to rent something. It was like in the very beginning where you guys had like a shtick in the beginning.
Oh, right.
And then I was like, I don't feel like watching any more of this. So I watched one episode and another one of like 30 seconds.
The first episode was Macamee, and I did a poll, and they want me to take down the Macamee wall and replace it with Alien 3 wall.
Let's do it. I am down for that.
You didn't see. If you were a patron.
I'm a Patreon.
Patron, you would have seen this. Did I open this up with you?
No.
Or did I do this with? I probably did it with Johanna.
Probably Johanna. Johanna gets everything.
We also have a Fly 2 poster over there.
Oh.
Fly 2 wall. Do you want the Fly 2?
Oh my God. No, please.
Actually, hold on.
You gotta do Alien 3.
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Let me see.
It's a little bit bigger than Macamee.
Oh, you could totally make that into a Alien 3 wall easily.
Yeah. I have enough Alien 3 shit, so.
Sweet. Did you find your hat?
I did. I've worn it in a couple episodes.
Okay.
It's in my car. Yes.
So yeah, but you know, I think these are gonna be really cool because I was going through the episodes that Rental Reviews have done, and I was like, there are so many episodes I want to do.
Yes, and like I said, I was.
It's a different thing. It's a different.
Left out
vibe
of some
here.
episodes. Some I should have been in, but I left out.
I feel like you're really hurt on that.
You can't have too much Tony back to back. We got to change it up.
No one can have too much Tony. No one can have too much Tony.
God forbid people watch a show with Tony talking about movies once or twice a week.
I don't think it's just okay, Tony. You can have the show by yourself. Let's see how that does.
Well, there have only been 2 episodes where I wasn't on the review panel.
One did phenomenal.
One got great views and no retention because they were like,
boobs.
They were like, women are talking.
Boobs.
And the other one, someone, let's not name names, but someone decided that Pokemon would do well on my channel. And they bragged. They bragged to the lead up to that episode how it was going to do so good. And then my audience was just like, we don't fucking care. We don't care about this stupid Pokemon shit. Get your dumb purple shit out of here. Anyway, that is it from us. Like, share, subscribe. Check us out on Patreon. Check out the podcast.
What would your next? I know you said you want to do Nick Cage, but would be your next? If you had to pick right now, which top 5 would you want to redo?
I'd have to look at the list again.
Is there a single one that you really want to do?
Well, I left it off the list because we're doing it anyway. Me and Johanna are doing Scott Pilgrim versus the World because that was the episode people were angriest that I was left out of.
You can't do it without Johanna.
No, because
she knows everything about Scott
Justin
Pilgrim.
didn't want Johanna on the show.
I'm not gonna lie, that's a different world, that's a different audience, and that's a little intimidating.
Then there was Scott the Woz was on it, but he never read the book. James never read the book. And then Justin insisted on be on it because he was a projectionist the weekend it came out, and he thought that qualified him over me, who read all the books. So I added a rant at the end.
I feel like you're a little bitter on
I added a rant at the end of that episode. I'm like, sorry I couldn't be in here and talk about the comics and stuff, but, you know, Justin knew Eat, Pray, Love came out the same weekend. That was more important. So fans have been like pissed that I wasn't in that episode ever since. So me and Johanna that's why if I were to put that on the list, it would just win automatically. So I'm like, let's just do it.
Is there another episode besides that? Can we get Macaulay Culkin here?
I don't think so. Well, yeah, there's some like I did want to talk about, like Predator. Chopping Mall would be a fun one to talk about.
If you do Chopping Mall, I'm fucking doing it. I love Chopping Mall. That was the very first, what was it, last year? First drive-in I've ever seen was Chopping Mall.
Yeah, Chopping Mall is good. I would like to do...
Love to do Chopping Mall.
Again, Con Air, Face Off would be a lot of fun.
Can you do... you did the one with the monkey.
Oh, Monkey Shines.
No. Oh, I do love Monkey Shines.
Monkey Shines is fun.
No. The other one with the kid.
Oh, Dunstan checks in.
Dunstan checks in. I saw that and I was like, oh, flashback. I
had an appearance in that one, but yeah, I wasn't in the review.
I was like, oh shit.
Flash Gordon would be fun to talk about.
All right.
We can talk about the Flash Gordon movie. Anyway, that is it from us.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Let us know if you like Last Action Hero. Goodbye.
Yes.
I have so many things I want to talk about. I'm like gonna get off track here.
This is the case of a game that was far more popular in Japan than it was in the United States.
They never went to Mordor. What are you talking about?
This is kind of weird.
But there's real detail. There's like wiring underneath.
You know, they're one and done. That's it. Sold out. So they're super hard to come by.
You heard him, guys. Bring it back. Here we go again. Round two.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.
Talking about tapes.